Number 20, No Code by Pearl Jam from 1996. Probably one of their most diverse albums. It kind of had a mixed reception. I seem to recall the biggest hits off this album being Who You Are and Off He Goes, although there's a number of good songs, whether they were mainstream radio hits or not.
There he goes with his perfectly unkept.
Hail, Hail, Smile, Habit, Present Tense, Around the Bend, Sometimes, and The Haunting I'm Open. These were all pretty decent songs in my opinion.
Off you dream, my little child.
Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a side.
Number 19, Hey Jude, a compilation album from the Beatles in 1970.
Your feet. Wonder how you manage to make ends meet. Who finds the money when you pay the
I mostly disqualified compilation albums like greatest hits compilations because I didn't want to give albums credit for songs that had already been released on previous albums. The thing about Hey Jude is that most of the songs had only previously been released as singles, so they couldn't be claimed by any prior album. There are a few exceptions, such as Can't Buy Me Love, Revolution, and I Should Have Known Better, but I basically just didn't count those songs as I was considering this album. But it's still just so super loaded with some iconic Beatles tunes, including the title track Hey Jude, Lady Madonna, Paperback Writer, The Ballad of John and Yoko, Rain, and Don't Let Me Down.
Standing in the dockets of Hampton, trying to get to Holland. We do, I know just that Buddy Holly. Oh, and you'll marry Tyler Moore.
Number 18, Weezer's self-titled debut album from 1994, more commonly known as the Blue Album. This album has been credited by some as ushering in the entire subgenre of emo rock or geek rock.
Hear me, know me. If you want to destroy my sweater, hold this thread as I walk away.
It had three pretty huge hits in Undone the Sweater Song, Buddy Holly, and Say It Ain't So. Although there are a few other very good songs such as No One Else, The World Has Turned and Left Me Here, and My Name Is Jonas.
The world has turned and left me here, just where I was before you appeared.
Number 17, Siamese Dream by the Smashing Pumpkins from 1993. This was a hugely influential album for me as a teenager, which had a number of pretty big hits. Probably my favorite of them all was Cherub Rock, although Today and Disarm were both excellent and very, very popular songs at the time. Although there were a number of other good songs including Rocket, Soma, Mayonnaise, Luna, and Sweet Sweet. Number 16, Led Zeppelin's second studio release, commonly known as Led Zeppelin II, from 1969. Just a fantastic album that contains Ramble On and Whole Lotta Love, a couple of my favorite Zeppelin songs, as well as Heartbreaker, Livin' Lovin' Maid, What Is and What Should Never Be, Thank You, and the sick drumming of Moby Dick.
My love is strong, shall go until we die.
Number 15, 10, Pearl Jam's debut album from 1991, which has got to be on the short list of the best debut albums of all time. This album kicked out a number of quintessential 90s alternative hits, including Jeremy, which has one of the freakiest music videos I've ever seen, also Even Flow, Alive, Black, as well as Once, Why Go, and Oceans, which are all fairly decent tunes. I'm also sort of giving partial credit to Yellow Ledbetter, which although it's not on this album, it was on the B-side of some of the singles released from this album.
At home, drawing pictures of mountain tops with him on top, lemon yellow sun.
Number 14, Houses of the Holy by Led Zeppelin from 1973. Before proceeding, I should comment on just how close these next few places are. Really, all of numbers 10 through 14, it's pretty arbitrary where I put them there. I mean, it's just splitting hairs how close they are for me. Big time album that has The Ocean, which is one of my all-time favorite Zeppelin songs, as well as Over the Hills and Far Away, Dire Maker, and Dancin' Days, a few more of their biggest hits, as well as decent songs like The Song Remains the Same and The Rain Song. Number 13, Metallica's self-titled album from 1991, commonly known as the Black Album.
Hey, hey, I'm your life. I'm the one who takes you there.
I know there are a lot of hardcore metalheads who kind of thumb their nose at this particular album from Metallica. They see it as the point where Metallica went commercial or mainstream. Although I recognize it's a bit of a departure from their prior work, I really don't care. I just think it's a fantastic album. There are several of what I think are their absolute best songs. That they're more mainstream accessible doesn't automatically make them a lesser product. And this is truly one of the most successful albums, both commercially and from a critical standpoint, of the entire decade.
Life is ours, we live it our way.
Number 12, the Beatles' self-titled album from 1968, commonly known as the White Album.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. Where I stop and I turn and I go for a ride. Till I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Somewhat of a trend-setting album cover, a motif that has somewhat been copied by the last album on the list as well as several Weezer albums. This is a 2-disc offering that has a bunch of great Beatles songs, including While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which is one of my faves, Obla Di Obla Da, Blackbird, Revolution, Helter Skelter, I Will, Back in the USSR, Why Don't We Do It on the Road, and Dear Prudence.
We all want to change the world. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly.
So she woke up from where she was, lying still.
Number 11, The Joshua Tree by U2 from 1987. This is one of the most hugely successful albums of all time by any measure or methodology. A number of critic circles and publications have ranked it among the greatest albums ever, most notably, I suppose, Rolling Stone magazine, and I believe 2012 ranked it as the 27th greatest album of all time, and it's one of the best-selling albums of all time as well. It had 3 gigantic hits in Where the Streets Have No Name, With or Without You, and I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Though there are additional good songs such as One Tree Hill, Running to Stand Still, Bullet the Blue Sky, and In God's Country.
With or without you.